Hi, it's John and Mike from brew-juice.com. Today, we are tasting one of Mike's brews. This is a red lager, and I don't really know that from the style sheet, but I'm guessing this fits into some category.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? If I was forced to put this in a category, I would submit it in that, I think, at that amber hybrid lager area. It doesn't taste like a Vienna lager per se, but that's where I would kind of sneak it in if I had to put it in somewhere. This is really more of a, let me try to invent something lager-ish, but red. You know, in a previous video we talked about spring beers. It's like, here's a lager that's kind of still dark, but getting lighter. To me, that's what spring beer is all about. And that's kind of where this fits.
Nice. So tell me more about how you brew this. I think that there was an interesting technique that you're about to tell us.
There's a couple interesting things that happened with this beer.
Okay.
I had, long story short, many years ago, I used to make a red holiday ale.
Yep.
So I figured, well, I wonder what that would be like as a lager.
Okay.
So I attempted to make that as a lager. And I brewed it during some of our coldest months, a few months back.
Yeah.
And I did, in order to save time and also make life easier, I tried to do my overnight mash technique. The problem is it was so cold that the mash dropped down to about 100 degrees, and it soured on me overnight.
That's right, you wrote
and
about
it got
this.
nasty.
Yeah.
It got nasty. So that got kicked out.
Yeah.
So then, but I still had all the yeast, right?
Yep.
So a couple nights later, I regrouped. I rallied. But I didn't have those ingredients anymore. I just had whatever I had.
Yeah.
So I said, let me just see what I can make.
Desperation red lager.
A desperation red lager. In fact, my notes say mix-up lager. So this has got a little bit of medium English crystal in it. It's got some biscuit malt in it. It's got 9 pounds of raw Pilsner because I had a big sack of that. So that's most of the base malt.
Okay.
I used just an ounce of Carafa Special 3 to give me the color. And then there's also 3 pounds of I don't know what in here.
Oh, cripes.
I had a bag of something. It could be Marisada.
Well done.
It could be US 2-row. I'm not exactly sure.
But it was light.
But there were 3 pounds.
I see the question mark.
Sweet. Double question mark. So
excellent.
So anyway, so that came together to create this. And I also had some Northern Brewer hops. And I had some Liberty hops. And when you first tasted this over the weekend, you said, this got Liberty hops in it? So it was a dead giveaway that there's Liberty hops in there. But I bid it with Northern Brewer because I think Northern Brewer's got that somewhat German heritage, and it gives you that noble, spicy hop character. So in the end, I think what this turns out to be is a reddish lager with noble hop character. But the interesting thing is the lager properties here, right? So again, trying to squeeze this stuff into production. I really just wanted to make a beer and make it quick. So this beer as a lager, normally I would start it at about 48 degrees. I would let it free rise up to about 52, and I would hold it there with active temperature control and ferment for, say, 3 weeks at 52 degrees. This beer, I just put this beer in my basement. And I controlled this temperature by either putting a towel around it or not, or putting a towel under it or not. This beer actually fermented at about 60 degrees. With WLP, what did I do? The Bock Lager yeast. So
833?
Yeah, 833, I think you're right, So it's got to be right if we both think it's 833. So this is Bock Lager yeast. Fermented at about 60 degrees. I know sometimes it got up to like 64. The basement temperature isn't all that steady because there is heat in my basement, and it kind of, if we turn the heat on for the kids or not, it goes up and down. But I just tried to regulate the temperature by keeping it on a tiled floor in the bathroom. Try to keep it cold as I could, but I didn't really care. You know what? It fermented fast, fermented quick. Then it sat there for another month at 65 degrees.
There you go.
And
I was gonna say, how did you get that clarity? I mean, that is clear.
Yeah, I think this is a testament to the Bock Lager yeast that it has flocculated really well, and it's fallen out. Because I've never really lagered this. This thing went in the keg, and we're drinking it off the kegerator right now. And I have never lagered this. If you remember, last year when we started doing lagers, I made that Munich Dunkel. I fermented it in lager mode the way I was supposed to. But once I got it in the keg and I started to chill it, I tasted it, and we liked it so much, we just drank it. We just drank it. So it's It's interesting that Bock Lager yeast will ferment a pretty clean tasting beer.
Sure.
Even at 60 degrees.
Yeah.
This could almost be some sort of weird, lighter version of a steam beer.
Right. I was going to say that the steam beer, I would think, is a little more fruity, herbal, flowery in terms of its hop, and that's probably from like the Northern Brewer at the end of the boil.
Sure.
But you know, I was able to pick out the Liberty. There's no what I would think that if you were to brew a lager strain at warm temperatures, there's none of the bad flavors that I think would come with that. It's if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't know. And
you wouldn't know.
And the other thing is just the clarity is I would think that you conditioned it for 2 months.
Yeah, right. At cold temperature, right?
At 33 degrees.
And the sad thing is, it's only going to get clearer from here. It's pretty clear, but it's only going to get clearer from here.
Yeah.
The thing is, that you're right. You're absolutely right. The cool thing about this, so let's just say 60 degrees Bock Lager yeast. There's no sulfur. There's no diacetyl.
Yes, those are the two
There's
big
no
things, right?
acetaldehyde. Not that right. There's none of that stuff.
Yeah.
When I brewed this when it was so cold out, I probably only boiled it for 60 minutes instead of 90 minutes.
Sure.
Right? So it's not like I worked really hard at driving off the behemoth. Somehow, it does make sense. If the yeasts are really active at a higher temperature, they're probably driving a lot of stuff off.
Right.
But it just goes to show you, this is pretty clean.
Yeah. It's a resurrection lager, bro.
It's a resurrection lager.
You had a problem with the mash souring on you?
Yeah.
You freaking went to your closet, you picked out things you didn't even know what they were.
I cried for a couple of days, and then I said, let's get back on it.
Pick it up, put it back out there. You tried some fairly, out there techniques.
It's kind of sad, because I think I avoided brewing lagers for a long time because I was afraid of the temperature control.
Yep.
But this goes to show you, I mean, I would never have said this before this beer, but you know what? If you can get your basement or a closet or something in the springtime or the winter down to 60 degrees or lower,
go for it.
Go for it. Because it's going to be a clean yeast no matter what.
Try the Bock Lager.
833 Bock Lager yeast is probably the way to try it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with say, I don't know, anything else. But we've had a test. It seems to have worked out.
Yep.
I mean, it's refined, it's hopping. It's great. And no ill effects. No ill effects from the warm temperatures. What I would say is on the low side, ale temperatures.
Yep.
Crazy.
We've had several other people drink this too and go, wow, that's a great lager.
Great lager. Clean, dry, nice.
Tasty. All right.
More descriptors to come.
Yeah.
For John and Mike, brew-news.com, hey, try a lager.
Try a hot lager.
A hot lager.
Cheers.
Brew on.